Are we live? And we're live! Hi
Woo!
guys. Welcome back to Reads Readers. Today is the live show for Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which is why I'm in purple and why the background is more purple. Thought I would embrace the Delilah purple. I will say both Hope and Lori aren't going to make it to the screen. Lori might make it in the comments, but she's not feeling well, and neither is Hope. So I'm just sending out prayers and hugs to them.
Mhm.
But why don't we do some introductions and maybe our starting rating?
Okay.
Because then at the end we always rate again after discussions. So
Yeah.
I will let the lovely Sam take it from here.
Okay. Hi guys. My name is Sam. You can find me at Sam's Bookish Fave. Sorry if you hear my son in the background. At on BookTube and Instagram. And I rated the book a 4.5 for now, just to start off. Just because I am the type of person that grudge of the fact that it started off as a little jokey joke. I don't know if I could let that go. I don't know if I could let that go. But yeah, still a really, really good book and very relatable.
And again, hi, it's Clint. You're on my channel. I rated this again 5 out of 5 stars. I read this originally 2 years ago and absolutely loved it. Um, Also, if anybody in the comments wants to come on screen, just let me know. Seeing as we have 2 people missing, I don't mind having more people on screen. So, hi, Josephine.
Hi, Josephine.
Hi,
Hey,
Karina.
Karina.
And both are saying this is a 5 for me,
Love,
and
love,
this is
love.
a 5 for Karina as well. Um, I know I read this originally 2 years ago, and I never carried on with the series, so
Oh,
that's my plan next month is to at least
yeah.
read book 2. And the will gave me book 2 as an option, so I went,
Oh,
okay, let us get into some questions. The first question I have is, out of Delilah, Claire, Astrid, and Iris, who would you most want as your friend, and what qualities of each character do you relate to?
oh, this is a good question. Damn, you started off strong. Um, I think I would most want Iris as a friend because she was just very headstrong. And even though I feel like when I need to be, I can be confrontational, I just rather not. And so I really love that about her. Like, there were many aspects in the story where she was just like, oh, like, I'm about that. And I loved that. So I would love to have her as a friend. And characteristics that I relate to, ooh, this is hard because I felt like as a whole, the book was relatable, like, especially all of the personal problems that each character had, like, me personally in my life, even though, I don't have a sister per se, but I do have siblings and, like, trouble, like, with my parental structure sometimes. So I feel like a lot of it was relatable. I don't know if I could particularly pick qualities of each character, like, just the personal problems, I would say.
I feel that. I will say Iris is a ride or die,
Yes.
but I also have a selfish reason why the person I would choose is Claire. She owns a bookstore,
Yeah.
and I might get a discount.
Oh,
Like,
got the discount.
selfish reasonings. Um, uh, but I do agree that there is a lot of qualities that are very relatable throughout it. The only sibling I grew up with passed away, so it's like I don't really have the sibling part of it, but I
Mhm,
have that kind of more with one of my cousins,
mhm.
where the way we were both treated growing up, because I was my father's child, so I was automatically labeled the screw up.
Mm,
and she was my aunt's child, so my uncle treated her like the princess.
mm,
She could do no wrong, even though she
yeah.
used to beat me with kitchen utensils if I didn't dress her Barbies or Polly Pockets, which is why she woke up one day with all of her Barbies hanging above her in pieces
Oh
and
my
her Polly Pockets
God.
melted in the microwave. But that's beside the point. So I feel like I
The
might
trauma.
relate a little more to Iris there, I
I'm
guess.
crying.
But and on qualities, I mean, I think all of us here relate to Claire with the books, Claire and
Hmm.
Delilah with disappearing into different worlds.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um, see here, Josephine says Iris is her girl. She got her sticker on her Kindle. Sweet. Shay loves Iris. I know
Yeah.
Shay is currently reading Iris's book.
Oh my God. I'm
She
so
started
excited to
Delilah.
continue.
She started Delilah and then went on a rabbit hole and just immediately went into Astrid and then immediately into Iris. So she's like, or Delilah. I mean, if any of the, as a gay man, if any of these girls can get it, Delilah can get it. If she walked into this house and said, bed now, I
I'm
went, yes, ma'am.
crying. She definitely had that good energy.
Melted Polly Pockets is. I
Yo, for real?
I got tired of getting hit with rolling pins, okay? So I took my revenge the best way I could.
Funny to me because I feel
So,
like when people post stuff like that, like a lot of people will post like TikToks as far as like sibling rivalries go, and I feel like did all of us just live the same life? Like some of the things that
hello?
happen is like what? Because I was definitely that sibling that when I was left home alone with my younger siblings, and if I didn't make them what they wanted to eat or do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it, I was getting chased around with knives. And I thought that was just a me experience. And then everybody starts posting about it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, like people are just crazy."
See,
People are just crazy.
that's me with my cousins.
Yeah.
I was left once with my sister who was handicapped. Matter of fact, my
Mhm.
sister was the easiest one. And I was left with what was it, 5 or 6 underneath the age of 10, and
Whoa,
I was
that's
in
too
high
many.
school. Um, and my how is he related? He was a great uncle slash my grandmother's husband.
Mhm.
My family, don't ask. He looked at me and he's like, everything in the house you can use, including what's in the garage. If you need it, use it. Yes, sir.
I'm scared.
They came home to my cousin Michael, who was 7, tied to the door that goes to the garage with chains, passed out, and all the other kids were well behaved in front of the television. He decided to go
Not
in
the
there and grab
hostage.
he went in there and grabbed the largest knife and tried to chase me around the house with it and thought
Oh
it
my
was a good
God.
idea, and he took a book and ripped it in front of me and thought it was a good
Mm-mm.
idea. Next thing he knew, he was tied to the garage door and he screamed until he cried to himself to sleep.
Not
I
the
got paid
hostage.
really well. Next time
That's
they asked me to
actually so funny.
babysit, next time I babysat, they were all well behaved. No one
I bet
messed
they
up after
were.
that.
No, yeah. When that happened to me, I think my final straw, like when I had my final straw, I just acted like he actually stabbed me. Like I just fell to the ground and I was like so still. And he started crying and was like, I need to call 911. Then he never did it again.
Do y'all remember the rock and roll Ernie toy? We put him in the toilet, sang like a demon after he dried out. Toy demises, childhood.
I'm
No,
crying.
but I remember the Furbies that would talk in the middle of the night while we're sleeping,
Oh my God, so scary.
and I
So
would put them
scary.
in my cousins' bedrooms if they were like rude to me or mean to me at some point. They would wake up with a Furby by their bed.
That is hilarious.
Or what was it? The Poe doll from Teletubbies that when you hugged it,
Oh,
it said the F word.
oh,
It
okay.
said F you, F you, F you.
I, I don't know about that. So I need to look into this. That is hilarious.
Okay, so Delilah and Astrid never had a relationship growing up and couldn't be more different on the surface. In what ways are they similar?
Mm, I feel like, dang, everything. I feel like everything about them was similar. It was just the fact that they were seeing things from different perspectives that really made that rift between them.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I agree. It's that they're both the same. They're the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
Where Delilah felt um, like she wasn't allowed to exist in the house because she wasn't wanted. And then on the other side, because of their mother, the way that Astrid's mother treated Astrid, it was the whole, oh, because Delilah isn't reacting to me in a certain way, I'm going to put all my love from Delilah
yeah.
onto Astrid and it be way too much.
Yeah. That's why the ending, like in the end where they had that fight in the room and she was like, "You ignored me the entire time." And she was like, "You ignored me first." It was like, oh, that hit me so hard because that was like literally if you guys would have just talked a little bit about this, everything that happened, like oh, that's so many years to be estranged from a sibling that it just sucked. Like it really sucked.
It does. I'm excited to get into more of it and hopefully
Yeah.
them have a better friendship. Um, they both were very headstrong in
Mhm.
their own regard. Oh, yeah, the Furby talked in the closet. Yeah. Um, yes, two sides of the same coin. Perfect way to put it.
Mhm.
Um, with Delilah and Claire's new relationship, do you think Astrid and Delilah will become friends?
Yes. I hope so. I really do. I hope that their relationship blossoms, and I also hope that it's not I mean, obviously, there's gonna be some aspect of it where it's, like, because of Claire, but I hope that it's more so that they decided to do it on their own and they really worked through the problems that they had without, um, like, that relationship affecting what they have going on.
See, I think we got a little bit of that when Astrid went to New York.
Mhm.
And even she said the whole, what was the line? Something about I always beg you and yell at you to come down, but I never once thought to come to New York to come to you.
Right. I love that though, because that part where she was just taking accountability because it was like she was finally seeing like even though she did have her reasons to be upset because like Delilah was also wrong on some accounts. Like I said, they were seeing things from different perspectives. So there were like once you got a little bit more of Astrid's backstory, I could definitely see why she felt the way that she felt. But I love that she also was able to take accountability, like where she
Mhm.
saw that how she could have made Delilah feel wrong.
See, my thing is I kind of relate to how Delilah was acting
Hmm.
because with like my grandmother passing away and stuff like that, that's kind of how I ended up like
Hmm.
disappearing for a little bit. Same with when my sister passed, it was like I fell into myself. But if you think about it, Delilah was 10.
Yeah.
She lost her mother when she was like 7, and then she lost her father. And then for Astrid, yeah, she noticed that Astrid was trying to like interact with her and stuff, but she couldn't care
Yeah,
because Astrid's mother wanted nothing to do with her. So as a 10-year-old, that's gotta hurt.
right. And it's hard too because you want to be like, why didn't Astrid try harder? But like, she's also a kid. So it's like, after a while, you really don't know, like, what else to do. Your brain is not fully developed. Like you don't know what's going
Yeah.
on. You think this person just doesn't want to be bothered.
Mhm. Which is understandable. They're children.
Yeah, right. That's that's where the whole like, damn, it sucks. Like that Isabella. I don't remember. It
Yeah.
sucks that their mother,
Isabella.
like, she wasn't just. I mean, she had her own reasons though to be sad too, but like the way that she handled everything, I feel like was very crappy on her part.
I really hope that there's a scene in a future book with Delilah and Isabella. Maybe
They
an
all just need
Astrid.
to,
Like,
yeah.
I'm hoping it's an Astrid's where Isabella tries to do something and Delilah steps in and goes ham on her.
This is so funny because I thought that moment was gonna happen when Delilah was like overhearing their conversation. Oh my God. Like obviously I knew she was hurt by what she was hearing, but I wanted her to step in so bad and just tell her off. I was like, damn, I wish that would have happened.
Me too. But I understand that sometimes the trauma
Yeah.
stops you from being able to yell.
Hmm.
I want Isabella's gay awakening. Yes.
That would be so good. Oh my
And if she
God.
has that, I swear to God, she better go apologize.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, next question. So, what do you think of Josh? Is he just misunderstood, or should he just be a better father to Ruby?
Yeah, he should just be a better father. I don't have there is no such thing as misunderstood. This was a big, big like part that made me feel not I don't want to say related to because I have a partner and he does what he needs to do, but there is just something about being a mom that kind of feels like we're just like the default at the end of the day. And when that conversation was had between Claire and Delilah, where she was like, so what does that mean for you? Like, why do you have to stop everything that you're doing and he just gets to pick up and leave whenever he wants? Like, obviously, and then Claire was like, oh, I don't want to defend him or anything. Like, no, please don't defend him because he made this fucking kid with you. He made this kid with you. Y'all both laid down together. Just because you grew it doesn't give you like or make you any more responsible for that child than he is. So yeah, definitely be a better father.
I
That's all I gotta
just
say.
I just wish because now that he is realizing because he's finally gotten to that spot where he's wanting to grow up. I just wish he would have communicated a little bit better.
Hmm.
You're a grown ass man.
Period.
Communicate it. I know
Period.
I have issues with communication. I'm currently working on a lot of my communication issues, but I have a lot of trauma.
Right. But she was also already 11 years old. Like, how long is it
Mhm.
going to take you to get your shit together?
Like in my head, it's like, oh, the only trauma you have is you had a child when you were a teenager. Bruh,
But
grow
at the end
up
of the
and be
day,
a father.
is that really trauma though if you didn't
It's not.
like you weren't a part of it? You weren't a part of it. I feel like you can't even include that because you didn't struggle. Like you literally left this girl to do everything by herself and then you would just pop back in and out whenever you felt like it. Oh my God, I hate that so bad.
My thing is where are Josh's parents?
Mhm. I mean, yeah. I don't did we see
Because
Claire's parents?
Claire's mom was mentioned.
Oh, okay.
She's off in Colorado doing
Oh
something
yes,
with
yes, 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 yes. I remember
gemstones
that.
or traveling something.
Coming back for the wedding right
Yeah,
before it was supposed to happen.
and she never came because the wedding
Yeah,
got
yeah.
canceled.
Right.
So, which is fine. But I'm like, what happened to y'all are still living in the same town? What happened to
Yeah,
Josh's parents is what I want
right.
to know. And why aren't they a part of
That's
Ruby's
actually a
life?
good ass question. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because like, where's your other set of grandparents?
Like,
At
I
least
can.
if you're not, because that's like a common theme where
Mhm.
like if the father doesn't help, at least the grandparents are kind of involved.
As a child who my father chose drugs over me and my mother,
Mm,
my grandparents took my mother to court to make sure they had visitation.
I I love that
They
low
fought
key.
for that.
Yeah.
They even though my mother was willing to give it, they wanted it to make
Yeah.
sure that they had rights. They were
Mm,
like, "Yes, we trust you, but we need legally for it just in case in the future."
mhm.
So, my grandparents were there for me. Granted, do I have some
Yeah.
trauma all locked into all of that? Maybe, but they wanted me, and that's the
Yeah.
thing that I was hoping Ruby would have,
Yeah.
but she doesn't. So, I liked how Ruby and Delilah kinda bonded on stuff like that, of the whole being
Mhm.
abandoned by a parent.
Yeah. Even though they never even had to talk about it. Like, it was just a natural connection that they never had to discuss that
Mhm.
this is why, like, I understand where you're coming from.
That's all Shay has to say, it's just, "Josh, huh,
Yeah.
where do I begin?"
Right.
Which she carried on with. Josh's character was deaf stereotyped, but it was nice when he came around eventually, if only he did that more.
Yeah.
Um, First of all, love Ruby. I think we all love Ruby.
Yes. She was so sweet and cute. Like,
And for a child her age to be as smart as she is,
yeah. She was definitely a like a well-rounded character.
that right there tells me everything I needed to know about Claire as a character.
Right. Oh, that's such a sweet sentiment to say, Clint. I love that.
Seeing a well-rounded child who has a father or a parent that is in and out of their lives and
Mhm.
disappears, and her being well adjusted at that age. Yes, maybe in like 10, 15 years, she'll start to realize that there is some trauma about her father leaving and
Mhm.
stuff like that. It took me until my 30s to start realizing, oh, wait, I do have trauma from my childhood.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But but it's seeing that in this book told me how good of a character Claire was. And it showed me that how powerful she was as a
Mhm.
mother.
Yeah.
Because I will agree, there's nothing stronger than a mother in this world.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But before we start crying, continue
Yeah,
on with
like
comments. You said it, Sam. Yerp was nice at the end, but like, why hide it? I can kind of understand a little bit of why he was hiding it.
it was the fact that he felt like nothing he did was gonna be good enough because he had already like messed up. That's it. Like you already messed my thought of you in my head. I
Mhm.
can't just
And
believe everything you have to say.
the whole. I love Claire as a mother, but she was at times very helicopter,
Overbearing. Yes,
overbearing, helicoptery.
I agree. In the first scene, I literally in my notes I wrote, "Why did you even show up there?" Like she had no reason to go there when he had her, just for you to complain about how he was like parenting. That didn't make no sense to me. Yeah, I agree. She was doing too much
Like,
sometimes.
but I understand why she is that way with Josh.
Yeah.
If he just disappears and then will text a couple days later,
Mhm.
I can't do it, I've gotta go, blah, 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 tell Ruby I love her, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But at some point, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to rein it in.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let her have a moment with her father why he's here.
Mhm.
Let it just be them.
Yeah.
Kinda like how he blew up at her, while they were camping.
Yeah. That was also like a little too much because like that in that same vein, like you're saying, it, yeah, you can understand her because he's just like he's very flaky. He leaves whenever he wants, but at that moment, he has his kids, so he's not just gonna run away with her. Like, if anything, he's running away from the responsibility of having her 24/7. So Like, I don't think she should have been worried in those moments.
Same. Ruby and Delilah's relationship is so sweet. The found family aspect was so lovely to see.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love one of the lines that is towards the end of the book because I have kind of what they're alluding to at the end where Delilah makes a comment to herself about Iris. Maybe this will be an all queer coven like she
Mm,
wants. And I have a group of friends who we call ourselves a coven. And
mm.
every last one of us, except for one member, is somewhere on the queer
One member.
spectrum. He is he is an honorary lesbian, and he is our straight ally who he's married to a pansexual woman and he lets her be her most authentic queer self. And he is
I
the
love that.
biggest ally that we've had. And typically, from straight guys that act like him, we don't typically see that.
Yeah.
Because he's originally from like Boston.
Mm,
Very,
yeah.
he has seen mafia crap happen
Oh, okay.
and some other things from his childhood. Because I think one of his mother's boyfriends was actually part of the mob. And
Mm.
he's watched people get killed and all that stuff in front of him as a child. So, and he holds himself very, oh, I'm a man.
Yeah.
But he's also like one of like the sweetest like people I've ever met, and I'm just like, oh,
Oh.
yes, you're allowed in. Come in. So it's like, see, having that line in the book, I went, yes, sometimes you need an all queer group around you
Mhm.
sometimes, especially for those days where you feel like you're an outsider.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were Claire, do you think you'd be able to forgive Delilah for what she said, even though the bet was never official?
uh, okay. My thing is though, I don't feel like there was enough groveling. Even if I were to forgive, there was no like it was just like, yeah, I said that, but like it was never about that, or like I didn't mean it like that, or Astrid is like twisting my words, but there was not enough. Like Claire just was like, oh, but like you're gonna stay here? Okay. I just feel like I can't let that go as a reader though, because I know like I got to see both sides. So I know how you were about it from the beginning. Claire doesn't get like all that information. She just knows what you guys are telling her for that it is. So I'm like, I don't know.
See, my thing with the bet, though, is that I don't think when you think of stuff like this, you're not taking this one thing into consideration. Delilah at the beginning of the book, who said that, is not the same Delilah.
True.
And
I can see that.
I can see that Delilah joking about that and actually going to make it about that.
Hmm.
Because to her, these girls were her bullies. They
Yeah.
shunned her. These are her trauma. So of course she's gonna make a joke. Oh, you think I
Yeah.
can't bet her? Oh, I'm
Hmm.
gonna do it. Because if you think about it, it is such a stereotypical line that you would typically get from a dude bro
No, this
who
is
thinks
literally
he's
the
like
premise
all
of
that
After.
pretty much.
Like that, just that little tidbit, except for he actually takes it way too fucking far. But that's why I
There
was like, this is like it was never a real bet. So I'm like, damn, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
feel that though, but it is one of those that even I had that in the back of my mind of, oh, when is that coming out again? Oh, I remember that scene. Oh, I don't know if I want to see
Yeah.
it from Claire's point of view yet. Ugh, just
And I
ugh.
feel like there was one throwaway line, maybe, but it was like something about how when they were, I think it was the first time they were intimate, and Claire was like telling her that she wanted to keep it a secret or whatever, and Um, Delilah's internal dialogue had said something about that this is just for vengeance. That was another thing that bothered me is like it was a little bit like thrown in there a couple times. So like yeah, it was never an official bet, but you still thought about it some of the time like yeah, I'm still considering this to be for fun.
Which, in that, the way I read those type of lines, because I get where you're coming from, is I kept
Mhm.
thinking her trauma
Yeah.
is this is her way of reassuring herself so she doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, like if it doesn't go anywhere, like I understand that though. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know if I would be able to definitely more groveling though. If I do
I
forgive you, there gotta be more than
I same. I would need more.
that.
Just saying. Okay. If you didn't like a friend's partner, would you say something? And how would you go about it?
This is damn Clint. You're really going for the hard
Hey,
questions here.
I found some really good questions online. I was Googling trying to find questions for this, and when I
This
saw
is
this list, I
so
went, ooh, ooh, these are fun.
I I actually can speak from experience on this because there have been a couple friends that I have where I don't like their partners, and honestly, I just be like, oh, I be saying, like, I will tell you that I don't like this or the way that they did that. And that just comes with like my environment. Like the way that I grew up is just very common to be blunt in my family. So like I don't feel comfortable, especially if you're like a friend that I'm going to be hanging around with all the time and a type of person that when you want to come see me or you want us to go out, you want to bring your partner with you. Like I need you to know that I'm not gonna have a filter if if something happens that I don't like. Like I can definitely keep it cordial. This is your partner at the end of the day. I don't have to be in that relationship, but I don't like to see my friends being treated a certain way, so that's just me, like, I would have to say something.
See, I've been Astrid. Not to the point
Mm,
of we're getting married,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I've had many of an ex because I have a habit of always choosing up until my current husband. Um, I I have picked some doozies.
Listen, we all been
But but like my most recent one before him, Tilson, the guy I moved in with, granted we were only dating for 3 months when I moved in with him.
mm,
My ex roommate got a house and I couldn't move with her.
mm,
And it was either go with her or my mother. Or go with move in with him or my
yeah.
mother's. So I moved the very month I moved in with him is the very month he kicked me out,
Oh,
accusing me of cheating when I found out he cheated. But nobody told me, nobody but Sterling,
mm,
who never met him,
mm,
told me that he was horrible and I should not be with him.
wow. We love to see it.
After the fact, they were like, yeah, we were questioning a lot. He kept joking around saying that he had life insurance put in my name, or he would sneak stuff in my food saying, oh, you do know there was spinach in that, right? And I was
Oh,
like, how?
no.
I was like, how is there spinach in this?
Oh, hell no.
This is Alfredo. If you put anything green in Alfredo sauce, it changes the color. I'm not an idiot. I
Mm-mm,
was never allowed to cook. I was never allowed near the kitchen when he cooked.
mm-mm.
So,
Yeah,
me just being, I was too wrapped up in me being, I was in a very bad place when I dated him, anyways. So, I didn't see the red flags. I should
yeah,
have had someone tell me.
definitely.
After the fact, we had to sit down with some of my friends, and they're like, thank God he's gone. And I'm like, really? Why?
Where was
What's
that
wrong?
energy when
And they
when
listed
we were together? Come on.
everything. They were like, from the first time I met him, I wanted to murder him. I didn't
Mm-mm.
like how he talked to you.
So why didn't you tell me that sooner? Yeah, like I can't do that. I can't do that. I've actually had friends who just stop hanging out with me while they date certain guys because of that. Like I'll just be like, I don't like that man. Don't bring him around me.
My thing is my friends, there have been times in the past where I didn't listen to them
And
because
that's okay. You
I
know,
was
like
having I was like he was good at what he was doing, so I
yeah,
didn't
like
mind
that's
the
gonna
red flags
happen
for a little
though.
bit. But it's one of those things of, granted, I should have known better. He's gay, but he's anti-gay.
Oh
That
no.
in
You
itself,
hate to see that.
I should have known better.
Yeah.
I've dated 2 of them now. I
Mm.
should have known better. Plus, he carried a Louis Vuitton purse and made fun of all of my nerdy stuff.
Oh, I was
That should have been a
I was trying to see
sign.
where that was gonna go.
No, he used to carry around a Louis Vuitton purse and say, "Oh, no one can tell I'm gay." Deaf, dumb, and blind dogs know you're gay, boy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You're good.
No. Sterling's like, "Do you want me to address any part of that about deaf, dumb, and blind dogs knowing you're gay?" But okay, we've got some comments. I just love them. Don't even care. They worked it
You're out of
out.
here.
Oh boy. I am currently playing nice with the partner, but she knows I hate how he treats her.
See, like that's sometimes you just gotta do that. Cause like you said, sometimes they don't listen, so you just gotta let them
Mhm.
struggle bus it, you know?
I went
But I'm gonna say,
with a former friend of mine was in a relationship. Matter of fact, he took the guy from me, but that's beside the point. And they had to get another partner because he used to say the whole I can't have sex. I'm asexual. I don't have sex. Yet I get videos from people of him doing things with other people, and I keep sending it to his boyfriend, but his boyfriend never listened. They got another partner so that his boyfriend can have someone to have fun with. And I was like, I'm always playing nice. I was like, I don't understand y'all situation,
mm-mm.
but I like Michael as a person, so I'll be nice to Michael. But I don't understand this situation. The friend, you've got to go, and these two can stay together. I like these two together. Who, after they all broke up, these two a year later are back together
Mm,
and they're happy and healthy
love that for them.
without this person. And
Right.
I don't have this person in my life either.
As you shouldn't.
And we're all happy and healthy. So I get it. Um, oh boy, the doozy before Brian. I still have flashbacks. Girl, the amount of Davids I went through, don't even. The 27 Davids. At one point, I realized if your name is David or your middle name is David, get the heck away from me.
um,
I was young and dumb, though through the multiple people told me, but I was like, no, we might need the trauma dump offline one night. Listen,
don't.
girl, I can trauma dump for hours.
Ooh.
Currently, started therapy to start dealing with a little bit of that.
Mm.
Did we stay the same way? I hope not. I wasn't allowed to eat bread. Wait, what?
Eat bread. I had a friend like that though, where like her man like he wouldn't let her get her nails done, her lashes done. Like she couldn't dress a certain way. She couldn't do her makeup. He was like, anytime she would do any of that, he was like, you trying to see other guys. Like that's why you looking like that for. And I stopped being friends with her for that period of time. I was like, I can't do this. Like every time he came around, me and him would argue because I was like, yo, why do you treat her like that? And so yeah, but now we're friends again, and she like has a whole little family. I love that for her.
See, I used to have an ex who, when we would go places and I'd order food, after I ate like half the plate, he would take the plate away from me.
Oh hell no.
You don't want to get fat.
Mm, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
I'm
How
like,
about mind your business?
did I say you could touch my food?
Right.
And if you want to keep all your limbs together, you will back up from my food.
Right.
I am fat for a reason. I like my food. Um, Good for you, Sam. Oh, friend, Clint, honey, listen.
Josie.
Those are just like the most recent exes. I can go on with some worse traits on other ones
Oh
that I
no.
didn't see that I should have seen. La- I laughed. Is that toxic?
Girl, we all
Listen, it's funny now.
now, yeah. Exactly.
After the fact, we can laugh about
Right.
it. It's the chaos. Yep, he controlled my bread intake and hid candy. Yeah.
See, I be telling Dana this, but I really I don't know if it's the New York in me, but shit like that just would not fly. Like I can't let it like no, I can't do it because I'm cursing somebody out for real.
Okay, I know I have issues with confrontation. So I don't always speak up when I should, especially if it falls me.
Yeah.
But if it's one of my friends, I have a habit of having no filter. I was born with no filter, and I'm starting to learn it's because the ADHD that my brain talks way faster than I can catch it.
Mhm.
So you do some stupid shit like that in front of me, I'm telling you off and I'm handing the bread
Yeah.
to my friend to eat. She can have my garlic toast.
Yeah.
In a relationship like that, you kind of can. Agreed. Agreed.
True. I just feel like damn. I don't know. We fighting like we fighting.
Agreed. Or it's very, very hard to interfere.
Yeah.
It is. Sending hugs.
Yes.
Thankfully, we're all in better places now.
Right. Right.
We learn from our mistakes. Okay. Throughout the novel, Delilah, Claire, and Iris pull pranks and plot schemes to get Astrid to see that Spencer isn't right for her. Have you or would you do something like this?
No. I can understand though why they did what they did because they very clearly explained it in a way that made sense where they were like the only way that she's not going to do it is if she thinks that it was her idea. And I understood that because of the character that the author like developed. You could tell like she wasn't going to let it go because she knew she wasn't happy. She was looking at those pictures that Delilah had taken. She would tense up like all the time around this guy. Like she knew what she was doing was wrong, but it had to be her who made that decision ultimately. So I don't think, and honestly, it was her that made the decision. So nothing that they did even affected what ended up happening in the end. Like, so no, I wouldn't have done that.
I actually think it might have.
As far as,
The whole Delilah, I think the main thing that got her really thinking was Delilah in the spa.
oh, when she
Talking
did the
about
Green Gables thing.
the whatever the dude's name is from Anne of Green Gables. I've never
Yeah,
read Anne of Green Gables. So where she was like, "No, you were obsessed with him."
yeah,
So is he that? So I think
yeah.
that is where it really got her wheels a ticking.
I could see that though, but I don't feel
And
like that's so much of a prank, in my opinion.
it's
Like that
not.
was more so like she just been estranged from her sister for so long. She's trying to like really find out because everybody's saying they hate this guy. Like I just really want to know who are you dating right now?
I labeled that a little bit more as the plot scheme
Okay, yeah,
of, oh, I'm gonna drop little breadcrumbs, and if it makes you
yeah,
hurt, I'm fine with that right now because we don't have that relationship. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be the one to do the dirty work. I'm
yeah.
the one that's gonna that way her friends aren't to
Dang,
blame.
do you feel
She's
like
like,
that was wrong though of them to put her in that position?
a little bit, yes.
Because I was low key like, aren't you supposed to be like um an advocate for her getting back this relationship. Well, not back because they didn't really have one, but getting to be have a relationship with her sister, and you're just like, yeah, actually, I don't want to see her hurt, and I don't want to be the reason that she's hurt. So we're gonna bring you on, even though we didn't care about you when we were kids, and use you as our scapegoat right now.
See, I get that. At the same point, though, I feel like her using that helped her through her own trauma
Yeah,
with Astrid in the end. So it's like a catch 22. Like,
yeah,
it's wrong, but it didn't
yeah.
ultimately it helps. But it's like that the two scenes that have always that both times I've read it that stood out the most that made me think Astrid's wheels were turning
Mhm.
was the spa scene with Delilah and then the party at the house where Spencer was like where he was like stated that, oh, we'll be in like Seattle.
Yeah,
Those two scenes were what made me thinking, oh, Astrid's starting to come undone a little bit.
yeah.
So we've got Ryan would never, and if he does, have the scissors ready
Right.
or the hatchet ready and Lorena bop it. Nah, I mean Spencer was the worst and the ultimate mansplainer. I hate that. But I didn't like that Delilah did that. It seemed a tad out of character in a little bit. It did. A little bit out of character, but at the same time it didn't because I was thinking like the bonding
Yeah,
through them. And Spencer is the definition of ick.
right.
I wish I reread this one so I could have answers at the ready. Sorry I've been so quiet. It's
You're
fine.
good. You're good.
Um, I didn't reread it, and I'm actually impressed with my memory on this. Normally, I can't remember my own. Listen,
That's
there are
funny.
days that I can't remember what I had for breakfast that morning. Listen, I get it. Okay. Claire is very devoted to raising her daughter Ruby. Do you think single parenthood complicates dating or enhances it?
I definitely think it complicates dating because it's like I come with this other person that you have to accept and also have to be willing to, like, especially if you're thinking about this long term, you have to be willing to like be a part of this other person's life, show them, like, be a good example for them. It's hard. I think it's hard. I do, however, like that it didn't seem to pose that much of a complication for them in this situation because they had that instant connection, and it was really like it wasn't really an obstacle for Delilah. Delilah was just like I understand where she's coming from, and she was there for her anytime that
Mhm.
it needed to be that way. And so yeah, I like that the way that the author wrote that one. Oh.
What? Love you too. I'm gonna ignore that comment though. He went, I love you, Chiquita. After the banana. Did, don't ask. Um, the whole, what I liked about the story when it came with Ruby is that it really shows that for the right person, it won't complicate things
Right.
if you find that right person for you. And I think that's where Claire started to fall in love.
Yeah, you could definitely see that with all the moments, like, she would just sit back and watch the way that Ruby and Delilah were interacting. I love
I
that.
think it was the bird bath is where she started to like fall in love is
Mhm.
watching her daughter with the bird bath. Ugh, just ugh, I love it so much. I would say it would probably complicate things. You want to make sure there's someone that deserves to meet your kiddo. Complicates for sure, so many moving parts and additional sacrifices. Claire and Delilah made it seem so
Yes,
seamless.
they really did.
And to me, that just shows to me that they were meant to be
Yeah,
together.
I loved that.
Yes, Clint, well said. Claire falling in love, watching them together melted me too. Just it's ugh, it's that hallmark moment of
Yeah.
movies. It's to me her watching the way Delilah was with Ruby with just the bird bath to me is
Hmm.
equivalent to someone running to you to confess the way that they love in a rain while it's raining. Like that's
Yeah.
how it like that feeling it made me feel inside. I was just like, "Aw." And then Delilah looking up and seeing her even made Delilah a little bit go, "Aw," on the inside.
Yeah.
I think that's what I love about that. Okay, for a long time, Delilah chose to deal with her problems by avoiding them. How did this method hurt her? And are there any
Probably.
ways in which it helped her actually come to terms with her issues?
We spoke about this a little bit earlier where I said essentially it hurt them because they lost all that time together because they both were seeing things from like only their own perspectives and not the others. So they both thought they were being ignored. They both thought the other one didn't want anything to do with them when if they had had these types of conversations, granted they were kids, like they were young, they probably didn't know how to go about that, but like I said, if they had, then they wouldn't have lost all that time together. But in this current time, it helped her come to terms with her issues because, like you were saying, because she was plotting and scheming and honestly doing all this stuff to try to make Astrid mad. It actually helped her get closer to her because she was like pulling parts of her out that she didn't realize were there before.
Exactly. And yes, Josephine, this is the book with the dress scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. It hurt her a lot because it made her where she's only ever had one relationship.
Hmm.
And she came home and found that girl in bed with another woman. So before Claire, she tried to trust one person
Right.
and ended up getting burned. So that's why she didn't do more than like a few nights
Hmm.
with certain people because she didn't want to let anybody close. So I get it. And this next one is the last actual like in-depth question, then we'll go into like basic questions.
Okay.
Because I like to have these in-depth and I like some of these basic questions too. But Claire has a difficult time putting herself first. Why is self-care important? In what ways did Claire grow to figure out that it was okay to take things for herself?
Okay, wait. You go first on this one because this one's gonna be hard.
As someone who relates to Claire a lot in this sense of putting myself first,
Hmm.
I have a habit of always saying yes and never saying no, doing what other people want to do, even though that's not the movie I want to watch. I don't want to watch that show for the 15th millionth time, but I will because I don't deal with confrontation. So to me, seeing her grow to where right before the whole breakdown of finding out it was a bet, of her actually telling Delilah, I want more. I want us to be more, was her finally taking her life in her own hands
Yeah,
and seeing that Josh made this house and this home, her finally being able to be like, yes, I can finally start filling in and doing what
yeah,
I need to do for myself. Because self care is so important. Because if you don't, you're going to crumble if you don't take care of yourself.
yeah.
And
I
she
feel
has
like
a,
that goes into the thing about her being a mom, like how she was just doing all that stuff by herself for all that time. Like that's
yep,
why it was really so hard for her. to let, and also her being so overbearing. Like she couldn't just let the reins go. Like she just didn't know how.
Yes. Sometimes it takes something to click in your brain. Like it's finally gotten me to a point. It took me 30 something years to get to this point,
Hmm.
but I'm finally at a point where even I can be like, start saying no.
Yeah.
Sterling's the one who taught me how to say the word no and pointed
I
out
love
that
that though.
my former best friend was actually super toxic
Mm,
and finally pointed out things in me to finally see. So sometimes it takes like one little thing, one conversation, one feeling or emotion for it to finally click in your head that you're just like, I'm exhausted.
yeah.
I need to. I can't deal with your problems anymore. I need to deal with my own.
Yeah. I feel like that also shows how similar Claire and Astrid were, because Astrid was doing the same thing for the entire book. It's just in this case, like Claire was the other female main character in this situation. So I'm hoping that we also get to see Astrid like discover being able to take things for herself now that she's kind of noticed that she can say no and she doesn't have to do
Mhm.
everything that her mom tells her to do.
Yeah, Astrid's moment of standing up for herself to her mother in the house, even
Hmm.
though the whole conversation ultimately hurt Delilah.
Yeah.
Delilah wasn't supposed to hear parts of it, but I'm glad she had that.
Yeah.
And I agree with Karina right here, where she says you can't pour from an empty cup.
Oh, I love that.
Because that kind of goes back to the quote that RuPaul always says:
Hmm.
how can you love somebody else if you can't love yourself?
Yeah.
It's like how are you expecting somebody to love you if you don't love you? Sometimes you actually
Hmm.
have to put that work in to that. So when I saw that question was on the list, I was like, "Hey, we have to talk about this." Um, the exhaustion of people pleasing and giving all yourself takes a huge toll, such a struggle to overcome, but it's crucial to fill your own cup. You'll deplete faster and faster if you don't. Agreed.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree. Sometimes one certain scenario or perspective can really give you clarity in your life. Cannot wait for you guys to read the rest of the series.
I'm
I
so
will.
excited.
As a spoiler, the wheel gave me Astrid as my first spin.
That's dope, honestly. Especially
My
because you attempted, well, not, I don't know if you attempted, but because you started the series before and just never continued, it was like, well, now's your chance.
Yeah, I put the way I'm doing my wagon wheel for November is all this. I realized I have a lot of sapphic books
Hmm.
that I haven't read. So I put all of them on the wheel and I played with that.
Oh, I
And
get
the
that.
fact that it gave me Astrid first, I just
Yeah.
started giggling because
We're perfect.
the day I finished this is the day I did my spins.
Oh, yeah.
And
That
it
was
gave me
fate.
Astrid, and I
Fate
was
for
like,
real.
alrighty, guess I'm reading Astrid next month.
Hmm.
Need to reread the book because I'm in another 5-star drought and I love it. Yes, yes, read it.
Reread it. Yeah. It was really
Or if you haven't read it yet, read The Crimson Crown because I need more people to read that.
good.
Speaking of another sapphic book, I have read Astrid's book, but not Iris's, so maybe reread Delilah, read Astrid's, and then join us with
Hmm.
Iris. Saying. Okay, so now on to like the basic kind of questions. Like, do we have any favorite scenes or least favorite scenes that haven't been talked about?
Um, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of favorite scene is when Claire comes back from when she's about to hike but decides not to hike, and she comes back and she's crying, and Delilah is like, "What can I do?" And she tells her like, "Come to the springs with me." And then she's like, "Is that all?" Like she's like, "Oh, like whatever you need, you can have it. And I just love that so much. I love that.
Agreed. That is such a pivotal moment. Any least favorite scenes from you?
Mm, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so.
See, the only way I could say I have a least favorite scene is anytime Spencer showed up.
True. I
I
just
just
don't
wanted
care
him
about him
gone.
much.
I just wanted him gone.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene in the whole book is towards the end. Actually, I think it might be right before the epilogue, where Claire comes into the bookstore and notices all the pictures on the wall and
Oh,
turns, and
yes.
Delilah is right there. And as someone who has an issue,
Hold on. Oh, never mind. He got him.
one of
Go ahead.
the main issues I have is talking about romance and stuff out loud and
Mm,
confessing. I feel
yeah.
like, oh, it's just, oh,
It's hard. At that,
that
the Great
scene.
Picture was top tier. It was top tier.
Oh, and Karina's already read The Crimson Crown, which I need the sequel like yesterday, and I have to wait a year.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Then 5 stars.
Are you gonna be there for long? I'm about to head out. Okay, I'll be there in a second.
Need the list of the
Is
Sapphic
it
books. Love Sapphic romances. I will send you a list. I think I counted it up to, what was it? We have three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
sorry.
I think I have 11 unread Sapphic books, which
Oh
is why
yeah,
I
I'm
did
gonna
a
need
will
that
with
list
all of
too.
them.
Because this was my first one.
Yay!
This was my first one, so I'm gonna need that list too.
Fave scenes, the opening, the grand gestures in the bookstore, and any scene with
Anything
Delilah
with
and
Delilah
Ruby.
is love.
Least favorite, the prank on Spencer. I will agree, the chili powder in the underwear,
Oh, I forgot about that.
which I just giggle at. Karina. So what I'm hearing is this got bumped to a 5 stars for you, Sam. I guess
Ah.
we'll find out here in a few. Oh, I also loved so much that literary oracle mini date they had.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
god, with the deck of cards.
yeah,
Yes. I'm gonna need that deck of cards.
yeah. Like a little
I'm
merch.
gonna need Ashley to like release it
Hmm.
with all of her characters. That would be
Oh, that would
super
be so
cool.
cute.
Oh, I was wrong. In me head, I heard the Crimson Moth. No, not
Oh,
the Crimson Moth. I haven't read that one yet. I was reading The Crimson Crown by Heather Walter, the author of Malice, which
I also want
I
to read that.
I DNF'd Malice, but I really loved The Crimson Crown. So,
I need to read that.
hi Tori.
Hey.
Josephine, Kiss Her Once for Me is a Sapphic Christmas book, and you gave it 5 stars. I
Thank
love Alison Cochrane, and I have not read Kiss Her Once for Me yet. I will be
Well,
reading an Alison Cochrane next month. Oh,
December.
sorry. Make that
Okay.
12 unread Sapphic books because I forgot about that one because that one's in the other room. But that one's already planned for December.
Okay.
It's since it's came out, it's been on every December TBR since it came out, and I still haven't gotten to it. So, if you want a really two really good sapphics that are set for Christmas, uh,
I
Seasons
have these
of
on my
Love,
Goodreads from you, Clint.
Seasons of Love by Helena Greer. It is a Christmas hotel that people come and stay at,
Oh, that's
run
cute.
by Jews, runs by Jewish people. So it's super fun.
Hmm.
And then you have a Jewish lesbian romance, or we have In the Event of Love by Courtney K, which is Christmas Tree Farm, Sapphic Lumberjack, and a PR person, right? Yes, PR, event planner.
That sounds
Which the
cute.
sequel to this is on my favorite books of the year
Oh,
because
we
it's a
need to
Mel
read
Mel
it.
small town. Because in the case of Heartbreak, is small town Mel Mel with
Mm,
a baker and a singer.
that's so
Super
cute.
cute. And yeah, also the sequel to Seasons of Love being For Never and Always if you're looking for a character with demisexual representation.
Okay, come here.
But so same Karina. Kiss Her Once for Me was so good. It's a real deck, but with the characters. Oh my god, what a collab. I didn't know I needed. I know, right? Can we get like a sapphic tarot card deck with some sapphic lesbian? I just think that would be amazing. Payback's a Witch is a sapphic witchy small town romance. I have that on a list. So we're getting a sapphic romance vlog. There's a reason why I did my will with only sapphic. Um, with only sapphic books is because I'm hoping to do a sapphic reading vlog to read some sapphic books. Because I did just get one the other day that sounds amazing. I did get this the other day,
Oh, I love the cover on that.
which this is
That is
a
so cute.
wedding planner and a tarot card reader.
I need it now. I like weddings and books, like wedding planners. Oh my
I went, sounds interesting.
god.
I saw the other Ashley Herring Blake book, buy one get one 50% off, so I went and found another one for 50% off, which was The Lovers. So
This is also on my list. I added that before I even finished this book. I was like, I need
if you can't tell, a lot of my sapphic books are like right here
yeah, right
where I
next to
can
you.
like get to them. So Payback's the Witch is
Mm.
5 stars and was a John Tucker Must Die meets Delilah Green. Sold, need the book now. One of my favorite movies. I need the book now. I'll be sat. Don't you worry. I literally put that in my review for Payback's a Witch. Love it. I know the lovers just look so cute. My God, that cover! I know.
Yeah,
It's just I saw that and went, "Ooh, what are
yeah,
you about?" Ooh, Sapphic Tarot. I was like, I don't think I've read anything with a tarot card reader that wasn't like
yeah.
a
That's an
witchy book.
interesting occupation to put in a book.
And apparently, she gets hired for the wedding. And the
Oh,
two people, the two love interests went to school together, and they both thought the other one didn't like them like that. So it's like a second chance for them.
wow.
I'm like, sold,
I
sold.
need
And I
to
think
go.
there's fake dating in it too. So I was like,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
please.
one of the best. One of the best.
Already on
Already.
my desk. Aw, I need to snag that too. Bought immediately.
Yeah,
Girl,
that sounds so good.
felt. Then there's Stop. Do I need a tarot card reader at my wedding? Listen, I was the tarot card reader at my wedding. I think I do. There goes my budget. Okay, so did anything in this book shock you?
Mm, I wouldn't. Well, I feel like not shocked, like surprised, but the journals. Oh my
Yes.
god, I loved the journals. Like that was such a nice touch. Ooh, just to get to see like inside of Astrid's mind, her perspective, and Honestly, I also enjoyed that the moment wasn't taken away from her. Like that Astrid didn't walk in on that. Like I like that she walked in on the, catching
Mhm.
her and Claire together as opposed to catching her getting that insight. Oh, I love that.
Same. That's like the main thing that shocked me is when we got to the journals and I went, oh,
Yes.
now I
Oh
finally
my
see
god,
why Ashton's the way she is.
I literally put the journals with a broken heart in my notes. Like, oh,
I'm shocked I still remember it from 2+ years ago. I can still see the scene in my head vividly. Applause, Miss Blake. I
yeah,
know, right? Okay, any thoughts on the writing style? Was it I know this is like a base one of those really basic questions,
yeah.
so any thoughts on, like, the writing?
I said this in the beginning, but the only like main thought I want to say is that I found it very relatable. Like a lot of the things just hit, and they hit me where it hurt. I don't know. She did that really well.
Sorry, there's, like, a piece of hair just
No,
standing
no, you're
up.
fine.
I glanced at myself for the f I think for the first time of noticing that, and I was like, "I am not alfalfa right now." Sorry.
No, you're good.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Ooh, hide that so it brings that I keep forgetting to hide the comments so I can go back to the questions. Okay, did any quotes stand out? I know a lot of people are that, highlighted stuff in the book, so that's why I keep this one
Hold
around.
on, hold on, hold on. Let me.
I'm not allowed to highlight in some of my books if I want Sterling to read them, because he won't read them if it's been annotated.
Oh,
That's like a pet
yeah.
peeve of his.
um. Hmm.
I just
I
knew you were
mentioned this
a
before. I mentioned this one before, but the part where Delilah was like, "You're what? The mom, the woman. So that means that you have to give up your whole life," and he doesn't. Ooh,
I love how pro-feminist Delilah really is in this book at times.
yes,
She's like, "So he's a man, so he gets to do that?" "No.
right,
No." I'm like, "I love it."
yeah,
10 out of 10 right here.
yeah.
Auto by author. 10 out of 10.
Now I have to get a physical copy because I bought it on my Kindle.
Let me go grab the book. I don't remember if I highlighted. I have highlighted in a few books, and we've had to buy other copies so that Sterling could read it.
I'm nervous. I still haven't highlighted in a book just because I'm nervous. Do I have a whole pack of highlighters in a little baggie with tabs and everything? Yes, yes, I do. But I still have yet to
Child.
yeah, like
The amount of tabs and stuff I have. If I tab up a book, most of the time it's just, oh, I need to read this amount of pages each day. So I'm
oh
tabbing
yeah,
that.
like a little breakdown.
Um, I'll need to annotate on my next slash third read.
Third read.
Okay, found a random tab and I don't remember why. Love that. I mean, when Nikki and I buddy read another really good series, it to me is Read Between the Lines by Rachel Lacey.
I want to read this.
And I listened to it on audio before I bought it. This is one of my favorite sapphic romances.
I need
Nikki Nikki didn't like it,
Mhm.
so she sent me her copy.
Oh, I love that though, because now you have like a little special gift.
So and it's got all of her tabs and sticky notes that say like "I love the pool." just like random things throughout it and different things. But I'm like, what are the tab colors mean? Wish there was like a cheat code at the beginning, but I can like go to it and see what it's. They're the tabs that like actually point at what it's tabbing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can at least say she wanted to be romanced like the heroines in her favorite books. Damn it. Oh, love that.
That's sweet. Ooh, I gotta read this.
But um oh, page 214 is tabbed at the line, okay, okay, there has to be more than a lover eating manipulative insects in here.
She really loved that mini Oracle date.
Yes.
And she remembered how much she loved it.
Yes. I think it's tabbed because the page is the Oracle pool they did together.
Yeah.
Yes. I put this one in my review. I've never seen anyone look at you like she did, not even me. And you look at her the same way. And how was that? Like you follow her to the moon.
Yes.
Oh.
I loved that. I love that.
See, I know I've highlighted in a couple of books, which ended up coming in handy for when I wrote my vows because
Hmm.
I have a bad
Oh,
I'm bad with words, so I used a couple of quotes from some of my favorite books.
stop it. That is so cute.
Like I used a couple of the additional quotes that are inside of Red, White, and Royal Blue. I used one
Hmm.
of them, and I used some quotes from the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, just because the way that the words like hit,
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I found a sticky note with my original thoughts too. Yes, come on, original thoughts. Okay, so did this book remind you of any others?
Also mentioned this already. Damn, I was low key knowing what was going on. But the only part that did remind me of something else was after, like I said, because that premise is that he also makes a bet that he can take her virginity, and yeah, but he actually takes it there. He takes it there. Whereas this one was like, oh, no, nah, I'm not going to take you up on that offer. But she still low key in the back of her mind was like, I don't care if you're taking me up or not. I'm going to still try and do it just to get you mad.
Yes. And then she ended up seeing the scene with Ruby with the dress and then went a completely
Hmm.
different route. That is what
Yeah.
changed her mind. Yes, that's what, yes, I know. I need to find the paper. It's somewhere within all of our wedding stuff on top of the bookshelves in the other room. I said witty pacing worked for me. Loved the character growth. Flirty, the Oracle date reminds you to go back to old times and have fun. Don't forget pillow talk. The imagery was top tier. Agreed with all of that.
Don't forget pillow talk. I love that.
I plan on using book quotes in my vows too. Sometimes
What?
the vows just hit right,
Yeah.
and they say what your brain can't in that moment.
Yeah.
Love these thoughts, Josephine. Um, few more questions. Would you ever reread the book?
Immediately, yes, because I don't have a physical copy and I need, again, I have a fear, but at least I could tab it. I don't know if I will highlight it, but I would definitely tab it.
Um, Karina,
Yes.
yes. As the fact that I just reread it,
Yeah.
yes. Yep. Already have and will plan on doing so ASAP. um, would you read another book by this author outside of this
Absolutely.
series?
Absolutely. I want to read the one that you just held up, the Christmas one. Oh my God. Yes.
I am a little nervous for this because
Why?
I a booktuber that I follow DNF'd it. because she couldn't get behind the couple as characters, and I went, "Oh, that's scary." And
Yeah.
Delilah is one of her all-time favorite series, so I was like, "Oh, that scares me." But
Ooh.
I was like, "Okay, I could go in it with a little bit lower expectations,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll actually enjoy it."
Right. Just don't expect it to be a 5 star.
Yes. Oh, hold on. I missed some comments. Plan on doing something ASAP. Add it to your WL, Sam.
Which one?
I don't know. Yes. Auto buy 100%.
Yeah.
Agreed. I have Make the Season Bright on hold, and it should come available next month. Maybe that booktuber wasn't feeling jolly yet. LOL, saving for December. I- I'm saving for December, even though the two other sapphics that I held up in this that are Christmas themed, I read in March or May, one of the M months earlier this year, and I read them back to back.
Yeah. I'm also
I
that
was
person. I don't care. I'll read it any time of the year.
normally I save all of it for December.
Mm.
I've always been that person, but for some reason I was in the mood for
Yeah.
sapphic holiday joy, and I just needed it, and I loved it. And she said, Delilah Green to your wish list.
Okay.
Love that so much. Okay. Would you recommend this book to others? Which I'm just going to
Absolutely.
assume every last one of us here are going to say the same thing.
Hmm.
Sam is holly jolly all year round. Yes.
Amen.
I am fine with it until we get to July, and then it has to be nothing but spooky season because July is my birthday month, and I will not
You're
deal
in the
with
spooky
Christmas
mood.
until after Halloween.
Okay.
But that's just because Halloween is gay Christmas, and we ain't taking away my gay Christmas.
Uh,
Already have recommended it. Read it.
yeah.
Um. Oh, I need to take that away so I can see what comment. Hold on. I always forget that. Okay, so any lingering questions or thoughts on the book?
Mm, no.
I was
No.
like, I'm pretty sure we talked all
Yeah.
about it. So, our last two questions. Did our ratings change at all?
Yes. I'm gonna give it the 5.
Yes!
I'm gonna give it the 5. I need to read the second book.
Hey,
Hey,
Dana.
Dana.
It has been a really good chat.
Yeah.
5 stars, baby!
Yeah.
Yes, Sam, yes! I'm sorry, I have to do it. Yes, Sam, yes! Let me get super gay for a second. 5 stars! And our last question is Is this good representation of queer literature?
I don't feel like I can answer that question.
I think it is. This became a new question to end the live shows with because this year being the exception to the rule because books were chosen out of like some randomness. Next
Mhm.
year, every book is being picked based on a different sexuality and
Yeah.
identity and stuff
I
like
love
that.
that you guys are doing that.
So I'm like, is this good sapphic representation? Is this good asexual? Is this good pansexual? Is this good
Hmm.
drag representation? Is this
Right.
good trans type thing? And I would say this is really good sapphic representation. And if someone has never read a sapphic book before
Me.
and wants to dip their toes into it, I feel like this is a really good start.
It was. It was.
And I love that.
Mhm.
Especially if you've never read adult sapphic.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't, to me, the sex scenes in this kind of remind me of Red, White, and Royal Blue a little bit, where yeah, they're happening, but it was more about how the people were feeling more than
Yes,
the
it was so
actual act
intimate. I love
itself.
that.
And that's what I love about it.
Mhm.
So we have Love, Love, Love. I say yes. Think it's my fave queer lit I've read to date. I can't say that. I read far too much queer literature, but I typically read a lot more MM
Yeah.
than anything. I think this is my favorite sapphic romance to date. But again, I read a lot of Mel Mel romance. Like I have an entire shelf over here of favorite series.
Yeah.
I mean, I have how many copies of Red, White, and Royal Blue? And Song of Achilles, listen. And Heartstopper, listen. Um, it moved right as I was.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Sam said, "Give me 14 of them right now." All the things. There are a lot of LGBTQIA plus books that feel like the author's just playing representation. But this isn't like that. Everyone just is. Delilah is a home run. For an
Mhm.
example, for the representation bingo, I will give to Becky Albertalli the upside of the unrequited.
I don't think I've heard of
Feels like, which is based off of, I think, Emma. It's based off of a Jane Austen, I know that much.
it.
Feels like she put every sexuality, every gender thing, everything into a blender and was like, here's a book. I need it. I'm getting hit on all of it. Oh, there's Asian representation. Oh, there's a black character. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's this. Oh, they're lesbians and Jewish. And I was just like,
Man.
I liked the book, but then afterwards I sat down and thought about it and went, ew,
Yeah, like
that
that's too.
was too much and it was like not authentic. So
Mhm.
I agree with this representation bingo thing. This is such high praises from everyone. Love it. Yes. Dana, read it.
Yeah.
Join the cult.
Yeah.
Read. Josephine, have you read Wolf Song? Sam, have you read Wolf Song?
No.
Do it. It's amazing. Not yet. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I will say Amanda and Ray, Amanda put it down,
Oh, did
but
she?
Ray is, I think, on the last book. And they started it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
On the last book?
Yeah,
Oh!
he just finished Heart Song and they messaged me of him sobbing
Oh my god.
of
I
his
love that
thoughts.
though.
Like, I was like, yay, my favorite book series of all time. Yay. And I will agree, I loved it when I read it too, but I think looking back, reading it now, I would not. No. I cannot stand when they have a random side character seen just once because they're a Jewish black lesbian with a stutter. Like, really? I agree. It's like, can we pick one if you're just gonna, like, if they have nothing to do with
Mhm.
the book at all? One.
Yeah.
We don't need all that. But I guess there are people out there who are Jewish, black, lesbians with a stutter and they get scenes. So that's the other side of it that we're
Yeah.
like, it's a catch 22 there. I think I'm going to reread Wolf Song at the end of the year. If you would like to wait a little bit, I may or may not make an announcement,
Oh.
Karina. May or may not be talking to a few people to see if some people want to do a read along of them now that they're
Mm,
traditionally published and the Barnes and Noble copies have an additional information at the end. So
mm.
just saying. But I was planning on getting together with a couple of people because y'all are about I was gonna wait till y'all end a read along y'all are doing. So there's no pressure. And I agree, however, Leon the Offbeat, nope. No, 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 no. They had to destroy a character for that book. Nope. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. That book still makes me mad. Oh my god, Ray is
Mhm.
killing. He really is.
Yeah.
And I also sent him the YouTube videos of the short stories where somebody read the short stories that are in
Mm,
between the books
mm.
and they posted them on YouTube. So I sent it to him so he would have the audiobooks for those as
Yeah.
well. I found them, I was like, here, go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Here's all three. I know, Heart Song. Oh, that roller coaster. I swear. That's so valid, though. There are so many books that if I read them now, I don't think I would like them.
Yeah.
Agreed, which is why we've gotten rid of some, and I think that's also why I unhauled Crave,
Mm.
which is a big thing for me. Make them the main character and not the pet sitter who feeds the fish. Agreed. I need the deets, or else I can't make promises. I'll make time for TJ Clune. Clune along? Yes, I agree. I need to bring it back. The last time we did a Clune along, Clunathon. I thought it said Clune along. I mean, a Clunathon would be fun too. Last series I read was the Lightning Struck Heart series, and I still need to read that final book because that is not a series for everybody.
Let me look this up.
It's pitched the two
I
ways
feel
it's
like I
pitched.
heard you talked about this before.
Two way it's pitched. First one is Princess Bride on cocaine or Shrek erotica.
Yes, I do. As soon as you said Shrek, I was like, yes. I have this on my Goodreads TBR because of you too.
It's hilarious, and you got to go into it knowing it's hilarious
I listen.
and not
I'm a
take anything
Shrek
seriously
lover though, so
because
I'm gonna have to give it a try.
of the hornless, horny, gay unicorn named Gary and the dragon named Kevin. Oh, there is one book I will say that tells of Varania one with the short stories. There is one short story in there that will make you sick. Just saying, you'll never touch
Okay.
cupcakes again. I still the thought of no, just no. It's amazing. I loved Leah so much and was excited to get her own book, but I was like, it broke my heart and gave it a low rating. I agree. It's She gave us what the fans wanted, not what the character should do. Oh my god, I have to read past book 2, Shrek Erotica. I know. I was like, everyone on the list that was doing the clue along with me, I got all the way through the core series. Just need to read the last one, which came out, which is follows another character so that he can have his happily ever after. I just don't want the world to end yet.
Yeah.
Every one of every one of you guys didn't continue on because certain scenes were just like, oh my god, I'm not in the mindset for this. I can't with this. This is ridiculous. Obsessed. It's so good, so funny. Think I missed something. It's called The Lightning Struck Heart by TJ Klune. I do want to do another Clune Along with his other series, his Bear, Otter, and the Kid, because I know that one will make everybody cry. I've read book one, and
Hmm.
if it goes the where I think the series is going to go, it's going to make everybody cry. Got distracted. They were both 5 stars. So we're going to wrap up this. I will say thank you for everybody who joined. Thank
Hmm.
you, Sam. Again, sending prayers and stuff to Lori
Hmm.
and hope they get better. I
Yes.
hope you guys join us next month for Top Secret, which is one of my all-time favorite Mel Mel romances, standalones, following two frat boys. One sets up they start talking on a hookup site because his girlfriend wants a threesome.
Oh yes, I remember the
And
synopsis
they
of this.
hate each other. And then when they find out that it's each other, the things that go on, the romance. And as I was filming my TBR, I did not realize and remember that I have Karina to thank for this amazing thing because it was a Christmas gift one year. And it has become one of my favorites. I still need to get the illustrated new cover, but. And we will be joined by Mandy from the Autumn Reader on that one. Think that's her Instagram handle. And slash anyone else who comes on screen just in case people can't make it.
Yeah.
Because life be life and like that for people.
Hmm.
But thank you, Sam, for joining. This
Thank you
was
for
a
having
blast.
me.
We're definitely going to have you back in the future.
Yay.
And maybe want to do an unofficial buddy read next
Yes,
month
yes, yes. Yes.
so that we can just continue in this world.
Yes. Not gonna let it fall to the wayside.
Same. That's why I have certain books on for next month too.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to leave you guys with here. If you like this, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe. If you're not following Sam, she is in the description. So are Lori and Hope. Everybody's already down there. So go follow them. Um, that's all I've got. So remember, people, to embrace your inner rainbow. Fill up your cup, water your water signs, blow your air signs, fertilize your earth signs, and
Mhm.
burn your fire signs. And until next time, we will catch y'all, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Bye.
End broadcast. End broadcast. End